Mom being like, 어디가? 누구랑? So I told my mom, one question per minute.
What's the best thing about growing up in a Korean house?
Food. The food is so good.
I feel very loved.
Best thing about growing up in a Korean household is the food. Bit biased here. Korean food, I feel like, is the best food. Mum's food is the best food, sorry. And discipline. And discipline is something that I have learned over times through my parents.
What's the best thing about growing up in a Korean house?
It's warm and fuzzy.
I come home, my mum is always like, "Hi, 수선아, hey," and then 뭐 먹었어? Like, do you want me to make food for you? I think that's the best part about being in a Korean household.
Best thing. Discipline. You learn to be disciplined, respectful.
I grew up going to a Korean church and I really liked the atmosphere that the other adults, they would have all come and help you, and they're all invested in your growing up.
The house is clean all the time because we take our shoes off before we enter the house.
You can say it's nosy, but it's also they just care about you. All the adults care about you as if you're their child.
And what would be the worst thing about growing up in a Korean house?
Language barriers, culture. As a Aussie kid that loves footy, that loves all the stuff that Australians have to offer, I found it really tough explaining things to my parents when it came to going out, or I'm gonna go to this concert.
Too much love. Too much.
There's standards in terms of appearance or weight, but my mum's pretty chill, so it's okay.
Mom being like, 어디가? 누구랑? So I told my mom, one question per minute.
With my dad in particular, he's very typical Korean dad, and he's very protective over me. If I'm out for really late, he would always want to know where I am, who I'm with. And even with my mom, she always calls me at 10 or messages me. Even though I'm 20 now, she still texts me and is like, "Oh, Joy, please come home right now. Where are you? What are you doing?" That kind of stuff.
Overbearingness, there's a line there.
If you're growing up in a Korean household, something you can't really avoid is the expectations that they hold upon you for academic success or anything like that. And then a lot of competition, being compared to other people is something that you can't really avoid. Depends on your parents, obviously. Depends on your family culture.
Trying to voice my opinion with my parents because normally we'd bow our head, just cop it, and just move on with life. When I look at my Australian friends, I see my mate Chris, and he's just like, "Mom, talk to me!" And I'm like, "You talk to your mum like that?" And it was just the biggest bug out. I'm like, what is this? And I tried bringing that back home, and I just go, my first language is English. Majority of us, our first language is English. So when we speak, our Korean isn't as clear. It's not as direct. We can take things out of context. So that was tough growing up, yeah.